You see Bunch every day. I mean, you're very familiar with this game. Is there anything about his game that stands out to you that might not stand out to like a layman?
To a what, layman?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, in terms of all our guys, the way we practice, he's gotten a lot of reps. This fall, I mean, he was working with the ones at times. And so he knows what to do. He knows this offense. He knows what's expected of him. He's a sharp guy. He can beat you with his legs. He's got a good enough arm as well. So we're excited. You know, he's one of those guys that's, he's going to prepare his butt off, and if his number's called, he's going to be ready to go.
How do you prepare Adrian in case he can play without him? Maybe necessarily doing all the physical stuff.
Adrian? Yeah. Well, he's progressing every day. You know, he's out on the field progressing. He's meeting with Coach V. You know, making sure he learns the game plan. You know, all the reps he's gotten in fall camp and has been good, so he knows what's going on, and we'll just see how he goes. You know, tomorrow we'll see, and then the next day, and it'll be a game day decision if he's ready to go or not.
In 2016, did you guys play 3 different quarterbacks at UCF all in about a span of 5 weeks or something?
Yeah, well, 2016 we played 1 in the first game, and then we played 3 in the first 2 games. And so played.
What was that like? How'd that go? That experience?
Well, we actually Mackenzie Milton started game 3. Game 2 was at Michigan. He didn't get in, and then game 3 was his first start. We played Maryland, and he had a good performance, and the rest was history. So we're used to kind of using a lot of quarterbacks, and the way we practice, everyone's ready to go at all positions. So not only quarterbacks, but receivers. If we have a receiver go down, and the other guys have gotten plenty of reps, and they're ready to go.
Have you thrown another quarterback into the mix other than Bunch and Masker?
We're having open tryouts after practice where guys show us what they can do. So, you know, we'll have a plan. We'll have a plan of something. If we get to option 3, we'll have a plan, and I'm not going to divulge that information right here, but we'll have a plan, and if that happens, we'll have to go out and execute and find a way to win.
What's Masker's level of readiness if you guys can go in there? I mean, he's basically starts out as a scout team guy, and all of a sudden he's the backup now.
Yeah, he's getting plenty of reps this week. You know, we'll tailor the game plan around him, around his strengths, what he knows, what he can do, and we'll find that out towards the end of the week, what he knows, what he can do, and we'll tailor a game plan around him and what he can do.
I guess how much work was he getting at all with your top group before?
Yeah, not a lot during fall camps. He was getting reps with the 3s and 4s during fall camp, and you know, we split up and we worked 2 fields, and so he was getting some reps, not with the 1s, but he was getting reps. And so now this is probably the first week he's gotten a lot of reps with the 1s and 2s, and you know, he's done a good job. So we'll find out where his level of understanding is at the end of the week, and if he happens to get in, we'll find a plan that fits him and allows us to be successful.
On the touchdown play where Stanley had the ball and it came out, the 2 receivers kind of crossed right there at that moment. Was that the way that play was supposed to unfold? And Stanley sees?
The quarterback did a good job of throwing Stanley away from the defender, and he really took him across the field more than we liked, but that was the open zone. And so it was one of those plays where they actually defended it decently and made Stanley kind of run more across the field, and it was a play that he knows he can make and needs to make, and you know, he was frustrated after the game, and he's done a great job bouncing back this week, staying extra, getting jugs, and he knows that he's the type of player that should make that play.
Hey, Coach, did you see is there a scenario that exists where Adrian wouldn't practice in pads all week but could still play quarterback on Saturday?
We're gonna do what gives us the best chance to be successful, and you know, it's hard for a quarterback not to do anything the whole week, and so we'll see what he can do tomorrow. We've got to walk through, and then Friday we've got a short practice, so we'll see what he can do there and make a decision come to game day.
Did you say anything to Stanley and JV? Now they both had a couple of drops.
Yeah.
Are you worried about them at all?
I'm not worried about it. Those guys have been in there. You know, the best of us, we've dropped balls. It's what you do afterwards. And they were frustrated. They were upset. They were frustrated. It hurt them. If it didn't hurt them, I'd probably say something and make it a big deal. But, you know, they understood the importance of those plays, and they've been diligent to stay after and make sure that it doesn't happen. So I'm not worried about those guys.
Coach, if Adrian does play, are you guys going to encourage him to run as much, knowing he might be playing a little gingerly?
Yeah, we're going to be smart, and we understand that if he plays, that he's got to be smart, and we're going to need him, and so we'll be smart, and we'll call the game accordingly, and make sure that he makes it out healthy, and we'll play to his strengths and go from there.
Did you guys like starting field position on Saturday?
Did we like it?
Yeah, do you want to see that improve?
No, we got to improve. One of the emphasis was penalties, and all across the board, special teams had some big penalties where we started backed up inside the 20. Studies show that if you can start past the 25, your chances of scoring points greatly increase, and so that was the emphasis Coach DeWitt made with the special teams guys, is to make sure that we're detailed where we don't have the same penalties and start backed up.
Yeah, he mentioned that yesterday. Why is it, do you think, that your scoring chances go up if you start out at 29 as opposed to?
Well, you just better field position as a play caller when you're outside the 25. There's more options, and a lot of times you have more confidence. When you're outside the 25, when you're backed up, it's kind of like, oh, we're backed up. When you get a good return, there's confidence, there's momentum, and you take the field and you're ready to go. So the guys understand that we field position is important, and we got to eliminate the penalty so that we have good field position.
With the fumbles, what's your approach to correcting that? Do you make it a point of emphasis, or you just kind of?
Yeah, every week we have ball security drills, and I think at times guys go through that and they take it lightly, and they kind of just go through the motions. So we made it a point of emphasis this week. Hey, everything we do matters, the details. And so even when we go ball security, we can't take it for granted. We talk about 3 points of pressure, wrists high above the elbows. And so, we focused on that this week, and the guys responded, and we shouldn't see any fumbles Saturday.
Anything about Troy that jumps out at you that people should understand?
It's a good program. Last year they went and played LSU at LSU and kicked their butts. And so we know they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Guys that may have been overlooked recruiting. They're athletic. They're physical. They fly around, not overly big in terms of size-wise, but they fly around. They're aggressive, physical, and so we got to match their intensity. They play with passion and intensity, and we've got to come out and match that intensity. And if we do that, then it gives us a good chance to win.
Do they mix things up defensively a little bit more than other teams, or what?
They really do. They're all over the place. They have linebackers that'll play out over the receiver. They have corners that'll play safeties that'll play linebacker. They're all over the place, and what they do well. And so we've got to do a good job of identifying each guy and where they line up, and then it comes down to just being physical and finishing blocks. It's going to start up front with the offensive line, with a young quarterback, whether it's Adrian or a bunch. We got to be able to run the ball and establish the line of scrimmage, and so the offensive line, they understand that once again, we're counting on them to dominate up front.
No, thank you very
Good.
much.
All right.
Appreciate it.